At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
News 46 is brought to you by Healthcare Partners and Humana. News is also brought to you by Barry Levinson and Associates, Pahrump's Bankruptcy Center. When it comes to important matters like bankruptcy, call an experienced, compassionate attorney. Call the Bankruptcy Center of Pahrump. Call 775-727-4747. News is also brought to you by Tire Works Total Car Care. Not your typical tire and service company. Guaranteed lowest prices on tires. Your one-stop shop for all automotive needs. Call 775-751-6100 or 702-365-TIRE.
Tonight on News 46, is the Pahrump Fair and Festival Parade canceled?
An exclusive with the Oakridge fire victims.
And Valley Electric eliminates impact fees. News 46 starts now.
You're watching KPVM News 46 with Rick Vale and Rhonda Van Winkle. Local coverage from Deanna O'Donnell and news across Nevada with Janet Eric. News 46, local coverage you can count on.
Topping our news tonight, for the first time ever, Pahrump Fair and Festival Parade has been canceled, or has it? Like the wavering stock market, is the fate of the festival in the air?
Well, we had a meeting yesterday because we have we got a bill from the Sheriff's Department, and again, not their fault. They have to, pay their folks to be there. We just can't afford it, quite honestly. So we took a vote and we said, well, we just have to cancel the parade for this year. Not by anything else other than that, and our insurance. Our insurance is saying, well, you have to go by kind of the rules, and we need the security and protection of the police there. So we know that, and we agree with it. But, we have to go by what they say, too.
How much money are we looking at to put on this parade?
$6,000, a little over $6,000.
Is that all for Sheriff?
No, the Sheriff's portion is $3,600. The rest is Nevada Department of Transportation. I should say traffic control. They charge to put up the cones and the barriers. Yeah.
So is there any way to save this at this point? I know that we spoke to Bill Kohbarger, the town manager.
I've heard that. I'm going to try to reach him. Apparently there's some emergency type meeting we can have. I'd be willing to look at anything. It's just that we personally, as the fair goes, we have to look to say, well, what elements are making money? What do we have to pay for? It is an event that we have to pay for. It's over $70,000 to put this event on. I know people think that's crazy, but it's true. It just takes money to do this. And we raise that via the carnival tickets and the rodeo tickets and the vendors. And we cut back on the vendors' prices this year. We cut back on everything because we know the economy's bad, and we understand that. So we're trying to help everybody, but then we kind of got this, and we said, well, now we got a 6,000 plus parade event, which we only bring in about 500 on applications. So it's a big number to carry for that portion of it.
So as far as the parade entry fees, did we change that fee price?
Well, we've kept it at 15 and 10 and 25 for judged events, or for the judged floats. We lowered it last year, and we kept it there this year. We really can't do it for less. You see, we knew up front we had to cover the NDOT fees, the traffic control fees, and that's about $2,400. So we figured if we brought in two, but even that, the applications are back this year. You can't, there's no set number. We have to just go by what comes in.
What other kind of money do?
About 50.
What kind of money do we? What events or things that bring in money for the fall festival?
The carnival tickets, we get a percentage of those, and the vendors booths. Of course, there's a lot of breaks given, and nothing. I mean, you can't just count the spaces and multiply by X. We do give breaks to them. There's a craft corral in there that we've lowered the prices for the folks to be in there, and it's just a tough economy. No one can afford to have 2 or 3 booths like they used to.
Who's next? Now, the town of Pahrump has now expressed their interest in taking back the Pahrump Fair and Festival from the PAVED group, and the DeMeo story is coming up next.
And welcome back to News 46. Before the break, we were talking to you about the Pahrump Fair and Festival Parade possibly being canceled. We spoke to Sheriff Tony DeMeo about the parade cancellation and his frustrations regarding the budget issues.
We gave him an estimate of what it would cost for us to man a parade. Nevada Department of Transportation requires that law enforcement be present at intersections. And as you can tell, because of the budget cuts and because we actually lost manpower because of these buyouts, we just don't have any money, any way to draw from it. We were in contact. Captain Beck was in contact with members of PAVED, told them what it would cost. We were under the impression that amount was fair to them and that they would fund that. And apparently, I found out last night through another source that was not going to occur. And that PAVED had made the decision to cancel the parade. Now, let me just say this. This is like Christmas, like 4th of July and like every other holiday we have. It comes every year. And it kind of discouraged me why this now becomes not only 11th hour, but 11th hour and 59-minute type of issues dealing with the Nye County Sheriff's Office. We don't have the funds. I know people from PAVED said it's a very important event to the community. We don't dispute that. But when we went in front of county commissioners refused to acknowledge any type of, actually refused to even make any comment on when we brought to attention what it was going to cost fiscally. We don't have the money in the budget. The only one who can infuse money to the Nye County Sheriff's Office budget is the Nye County Commissioners. The town board, my understanding, is not funding it at this time, and neither is the Chamber of Commerce or the Tourism Board. Those are the organizations that actually have the ability to infuse cash into this event in order to pay for services. Every year we go through this with the Nye County Commission and and whoever is running this event, stating that we don't have the money in our budget. Every year the county commissioners state that you're not required to be there. It's a private event, but at the 11th hour they're banging on our doors, demanding that we provide manpower and making it a political issue. Basically saying, well, if it doesn't happen, it falls on your doorstep, Sheriff, and not ours, because basically everybody seems to want to wash their hands about this and leave it at my doorstep. I don't mind taking responsibility if that's what it is to maintain my budget. That's required by law. And until somebody comes up with any kind of infusion of cash into the Nye County Sheriff's Office for a private event, not a county event, not a town event, a private event, then they're going to have to deal without the service of the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Unfortunately, this is not something that's unique to Nye County. It's coming across the country. There isn't money available. My responsibility is to my mission, and making sure that we have deputies who are out there protecting the public and taking calls for service. Private events are private events. They have to arrange for their own security. They have to arrange for their own ways of dealing with this. We gave them the options. They refused to have options, and honestly, I'm tired of getting from one source we have no money, from another source we do have money, from another source you have to do this, another source, well, we can make this work, and this is how much money we got. We're getting so many different stories from people running this event that's kind of like head spinning, and I'm tired of it. When they can infuse money into this event for Nye County Sheriff's Office, we will be there. We will respond to calls for service should anything happen. That we will do. Then we're going to debate whether or not we're going to charge them for those services. Because basically now the captain and I are just looking at that as another option. If the event is causing that much of a disturbance to the community and causing that much of an issue for the Nye County Sheriff's Office, they're hiring private security guards, which have as much authority as you do. That's what they want to hire, and I understand that's the way they're going to go. And initially I understood that they were going to be that they were going to volunteer their time. Now I understand that they're charging for their time, and I don't know what the story is, because basically when Captain Beck talked with the last member of PAVED yesterday, everything was working out for the parade anyway, and Now, last night I get a call that it's not working out. There is no parade. They're going to cancel the parade. Blaming the sheriff's office for that event, by the way, from what I understand. When the captain tried to contact people from PAVED, we were met with voicemail.
And realizing how devastating the parade cancellation would be to this community, KPVM spent most of today attempting to have this decision reversed. After receiving help from many officials, such as Commissioner Butch Borasky, Commissioner Gary Hollis, Town Manager Bill Kohbarger, Town Board members Tom Waters, Vicki Parker, and Town Board Chair Mike Darby. Mike Darby put through a request to have $6,000 for the parade paid for by the Town of Pahrump. Paula Glidden is said to have also put through paperwork to reverse this decision, and we have our own president here of KPVM, Vern Van Winkle, here to join us with his thoughts.
Yeah, Dana, we've been doing this parade for 13 years now, and it's been an outstanding event for the community. A lot of the indigents that can't get out to see the parade, they get a chance to see it on the air. The people of Pahrump, the fine people, they like to line the streets. We couldn't really see that this parade not taking off and having the exposure that it has each year. It brings the community together. So I really dug deep into this, and I really wanted to find out what really is the problem, because I was woken up at 7:14 this morning saying, the parade's been canceled, there's a problem with the parade. You know, it's just a big drama issue. So I started looking into it, and I started calling Tony DeMeo, and I got a hold of Tony DeMeo, and he expressed to me quite a bit about his frustration. His frustrations really are in the area of, he feels there's a bunch of lack of planning from PAVED. He also says that there's a lack of professionalism with PAVED with realistically dealing with this. Later in the day, I finally got a hold of Mike Darby to talk to him about how his actions are going to be to really bring this back to life, because there's this theory of, is it not going to happen because of NDOT, or is it not going to happen because there's funds that are not available? So we really got into the discussion. Mike Darby said that he's put an emergency agenda item on immediately, and the reason for that is for the cost of the traffic control. And that's the big issue, because the commissioners cut that money out of their budget. The Nye County Sheriff's Office hands are tied behind their back. They have no money to put people on the street. They need 21 days to tell an officer that they're going to be working or not working according to their union laws. Therefore, he cannot tell them, they're on one day, you're off one day, you're on one day, you're not off one day, because that's how he feels that the PAVED committee on the parade has been treating this issue. Plus, the Nevada Highway Patrol had contacted the Nye County Sheriff's Office too through rumor mill and said, we hear that this is not on anymore. Yeah. So Tony got to the point with me on the phone. He got so upset with me on the phone, he basically said, we are done. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is done dealing with the unprofessionalism of the PAVED group. He absolutely does not want to deal with him. So he was so angry with me that he had to dismiss himself from the phone call. About 5 minutes later, I talked to Bill Beck. And when I talked to Bill Beck, he called me back, and he said, basically, I asked him, I said, is there at least an olive branch to saving this event? The Sheriff's Office wants the event to come on, but the Sheriff's Office is so tired of the fact that it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. Yeah. And there's a lot of planning that goes in that. So there's a lot of frustration from the Sheriff's Department to get this done. So Mike Darby basically said to me, he says, you know, what we're doing here is we're patching a sinking ship. Yeah. His words, quote, Paula is not capable to following anything, and he's surprised that she can even be in business for herself. He's very frustrated with Paula in the respect of getting things done. And going back to this, a lot of this came back to, there was a grant that could have been submitted 120 days prior to the event for consideration for funds that would basically allocate those funds for this traffic control for Nye County Sheriff's.
This is not the first time that PAVED has had issues with sending through paperwork. They've been reprimanded publicly about not putting through the paperwork for requests for money. I asked her today if she put through paperwork for the Pahrump Tourism Board to pay for this, and there was no.
Well, there's a lot of frustration here, and you're going to have it looks like you're going to have a parade. It will be live here on KPVM-TV, and we're very happy to see that it's pretty much all coming together. So with that said, we look to see you this Harvest Festival weekend with a nice parade, and hopefully we have sunny days and beautiful ways. What is this new slogan? I don't know what it is, but
Western
ways and sunny days. There you go, folks.
Yeah, so hopefully it's good news, but it's not done till it's done, is it?
That's it.
Yep. There you go.
On today, off tomorrow.
All right.
Okay, now in more news, the devastating structure fire that occurred on Monday night on Oakridge completely destroyed a residence. The family is grateful to be alive, but they are in dire need of help.
There was a cigarette fire. Someone had happened to fall asleep in the back bedroom with a cigarette, and luckily the fire alarm went off, and my brother-in-law came in and actually saved my life. And we proceeded to watch the complex go up in flames, and the fire department did an excellent job in coming out and extinguishing the fire. But it was incredible how hot it burnt, and we were a good distance away from it. We could feel the heat, and you could see it. I don't know, flames were, I'm guessing, 45 feet in the air at times, and it was a pretty horrific experience.
Tell me about the experience in general. Your brother-in-law came in and woke you up and told you what?
He told me, "You're on fire." He said, "If you don't get out of here, you're going to die." And I was just coming to, and it didn't really seem real for a moment because I didn't feel any heat or anything. The bedding around me was on fire. So I thought it was almost a bad joke or something, but it turned out to be true. And there was flames through the doorway, so he had to come through flames, actually very, very heroic on his part, and then he helped me through because I was just waking up and I was a little disoriented at the time, so he helped me make it through the fire. And
they were pretty well involved by the time that he actually came to you.
Oh yes, the flames were very well involved. Yes, it must not have took long for them to get going, so because the fire alarm is right outside that bedroom. So
Shirley, I know that Shirley's your mom here. How are you doing? Tell me about your experience last night.
Well, my experience is that my daughter's Ron's he heard that go off, and he says, "You girls run right now." I said, "I want to grab my purse. Don't get anything. The house is on fire someplace." He said, "Get out of here. You're going to go up in flames. I'm going to go get your son, Rick. Julie, you and your mom get out of here as fast as you can. I'm going to go get him. Don't worry."
So he went back in to get you.
Yes, he went back in, and I thought he was very much of a hero for doing that. He saved my son's life, and he had to walk through the fire to do it. And then one of their dogs got away, and they thought that it was lost, and they were just brokenhearted. However, the dog did return, was hiding out in a shed in the back. And I was just teared up and thinking how I lost everything. My pictures, to heck with material things. We had a lot of nice things, and I can get them back in time, but there's some things never can be replaced. And the lady next door put water, sprayed it on my car, and she gave us some water, and I said I got to sit on her porch. And then Pam and her husband Kevin, they're wonderful neighbors. They brought us over and met us in the night, gave us something to eat, and we made it through and gave us some clothes to wear. Otherwise, we don't have anything to wear or anything at all. And we really appreciate you coming down, and we would appreciate if anybody could help us. I'm one of those that don't like to ask. I like to help people.
And they are looking for a place to live. If you can help in any way, please call Pam at 751-2922. To view this entire interview, go to our website at kpvm.tv.
And coming up after the break, we'll have part 2 of that, victims of that structure fire, and the additional victims. We speak to them personally as well. We'll be right back.
News 46 is brought to you by Southwest Medical Associates. Their healthcare center is now open in your neighborhood. Southwest Medical Associates. Now that's powerful medicine.
And welcome back to News 46. He's a hero, saving his brother-in-law and the rest of his family from the flames in this week's structure fire. We speak to Julie and Ronald.
Well, we were doing some cleaning, and the fire alarm went off, and we've been having a few electrical problems with the house, and we thought maybe it was an electrical problem, and it turned out to be a fire. As I looked down the hallway, I seen my brother-in-law laying on the floor in fire, and stuff like that. It's just pretty dramatic, and I went to save him and pull him out of the fire and smoke and everything. It was really hard to see him breathe. And I pushed my mother-in-law out of the fire also, and then secondly, my brother-in-law.
And Julie, yourself?
I ran behind Ron about 5 seconds after him. I was coming behind him, and I just stopped and went into shock when I saw the flames. Just the whole back bedroom was engulfed in flames, and it was coming out into the living room, and I just kind of went in shock and went back and was just yelling at my mom to get out of the house, and I just focused on getting her out.
Because she is disabled, and that is really concerning, especially with her physical condition. Even the smoke inhalation is very affecting to her.
Yes, yes it is. She needs several surgeries, and she can't get around very well at all. So,
and I know that
a major factor in getting her out because she can hardly walk.
And Richard himself even sustained some burns. Did you get some burns too as well, Ronald?
No, luckily I didn't. I had fire and the roof caving in around me, but God must have been there, and everybody made it out safely, and I'm just really happy about that, and the animals also. So,
how many animals would you guys have then?
We have 3 Weimaraners. After everybody was out, one of the Weimaraners was missing, and she's really protective over our family, and we at one point had thought maybe she had ran back into the trailer. We couldn't find her all night. We were looking for her, and about 4:30 in the morning we found her.
So
Thank God. So yes,
they're like our family also. So
we don't have children, so.
And Weimaraners are very close to the family. I know that breed is like that as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. They're definitely part of the family.
The destruction of this home is devastating. I mean, there's just nothing that you can find that you guys can even salvage at all, besides the fact that this is your vehicle that we're looking at right here.
Yes, it is. In fact, we had just finished paying our Jeep Liberty off. Last Friday was our last car payment. For 5 years, we've been making that payment. We just finished paying it off, and our auto insurance is not going to cover that car, and it's totaled, so we lost both of our running vehicles. In the fire, we don't have a car, and we don't have anything.
And that really, you guys do not have anything there. I mean, the clothes that you're wearing, there's nothing that you guys have here. So what do you guys, besides the basic essentials of clothing and shoes and some beds, we're hoping to get another home on this property, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, eventually we're hoping,
That would be the plan, but hopefully things, I don't know, things happen for a reason. I really don't know.
It's going to
I'm
take
pretty
a lot of money
confused right now. I'm still in shock.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of money just to get back on our feet and get our bare necessities,
Such a devastating fire. Once again, if you can help, please call 751-2922. That's 751-2922. They need a home to live in right now, and any furniture that you may have, they can't store it at this point, but they are looking for clothing or any type of monetary donations. That's 751-2922. You can view this entire interview on our website at KPVM.TV. Gosh, that horrific fire.
Well,
So sad.
fire is devastating even if you're overinsured, and these people lost their car, and we understand it's not going to be covered possibly by the insurance company.
They said that they won't cover it because it was started by a cigarette, and they just made their last payment. You heard them on
clothing, transportation, housing, all the things we take for granted, these people have lost.
So sad.
Okay, now in other news, it's good news actually all around. Valley Electric Association is expanding, and that means more jobs, and it also means certain fees are going to be eliminated. We spoke to Tom Husted.
We are eliminating impact fees. The board passed a resolution at a special board meeting this month that would allow us to begin going down that road of eliminating impact fees. Of course, it is contingent upon us receiving approval from the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission for Valley Electric becoming a participant in the California ISO. So what we are doing now, pending that decision, which we anticipate will come shortly after the first of the year, is our members who are going to be putting in a new service or expanding an existing service will have two options. Number one, they could go ahead and pay the impact fees, and then when we receive approval, then they will get a refund, or they can choose not to pay that impact fee. And then if after the first year we don't receive approval, then they will have to go ahead and we'll have to bill them for those impact fees. At this point in time, we're excited because this is a real opportunity for Valley Electric and our members to deal with something that nobody likes, and that is impact fees. So this is a good move for Valley Electric and our members.
In what cases are impact fees charged?
Impact fees are charged for new construction or existing services that are going to be expanding their electrical requirements. Impact fees for Valley Electric are to help us fund the necessary capital infrastructure for our backbone infrastructure, our transmission, our substations, things like that. If a new member comes on and puts in a home today, obviously they have to pay to have the electric service ran to that new home. But in addition to that, there's impact fees that are charged that help the utility pay for the necessary infrastructure that we have to put in beyond that service. New substations, new transmission lines, and millions of dollars worth of infrastructure. So by eliminating that, what we've done there is we've reduced the cost to our existing members to put in a new service or expanding a present service. A point that I think is extremely important for our members to understand is that Valley Electric is not eliminating the need for those funds.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is that going to affect the infrastructure then if we don't have these?
No. What we have done is by Valley Electric moving forward with becoming a participant in California ISO is that particular project is allowing us to increase revenues and decrease our expenses. So in other words, we have found another way to help defray some of those costs on our members and then to make us more efficient, which in turn then yields these sort of benefits for our members. And this is really just the start of some of the things that we've got coming in the future that are going to yield some very, very positive results for our members.
And here's our own Zach Fuentes with a look at your entertainment this week.
I'm Zach Fuentes here with your entertainment this week. While average citizens aren't the only ones that can fall victim to car theft, it seems that celebrities can too. After parking his vintage Mercedes-Benz for 10 minutes, John Travolta went back outside after stepping into a Jaguar dealership and found his car was stolen. Travolta parked the 1970 sports car in a residential street in Santa Monica on Sunday at around 3:46 in the afternoon. It is not known as to whether Travolta was followed by the car thieves or if they just felt like being spontaneous and took it. The car is rumored by some to be worth $35,000 or up to maybe 3 times that amount due to the car being vintage. An investigation is being held by the Santa Monica police. Well, Frances Bay, who you may remember as Adam Sandler's grandmother from the movie Happy Gilmore or from Seinfeld, has passed away. She died Thursday at an LA hospital after a pneumonia diagnosis. Now, an interesting note, Bay did not start screen acting until she was in her 50s, first playing Fonzie's grandma in Happy Days and in other roles on many other shows. Prior to marriage in World War II, Frances Bay was a radio actress back in the 30s. She was 92 years old. We have another death in the entertainment world. Singer, philanthropist, wife of a legend, and ultimately a legend in her own right, Dolores Hope, died on Monday at 102 years old. Dolores Hope was the widow of the legendary Bob Hope, to whom she was married for nearly 70 years. Now, the two met when a friend of Bob Hope, entertainer George Murphy, convinced Hope to hear a pretty girl sing, quote unquote. Well, Bob must have agreed with that because he returned every night after that, and soon Bob and Dolores Hope were married. Now, Dolores, for the most part, stayed out of the limelight to raise their 4 children, but did occasionally accompany Hope on his tour to visit troops and sing and entertain on his annual Christmas specials. Bob Hope died back in July of 2003 at age 100, and even though both of them are gone, their legacy will definitely live on. Well, this year had some of the best TV shows that we had in a while. Sunday, the Emmys were held to acknowledge these programs and their stars. Some of the winners included Mad Men for Outstanding Drama Series, Modern Family winning for Outstanding Comedy Series, and the winners for Outstanding Actor or Actress in a Drama Series were Kyle Chandler in Friday Night Lights and Julianne Margulies in The Good Wife. Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory and Melissa McCarthy from Mike and Molly took home an award for Best Actor and Actress in a Comedy Series. I'm Zach Fuentes, and that was your entertainment this week.
Now there are free flu shots this Saturday at the Pahrump Nugget. Maureen Budal from the Nevada State Health Division gives you the details.
What we have going on is called a POD, a point of dispensing. It's a public health preparedness activity. It is at the Nugget from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. this Saturday, September 24th. And what it is it's free flu shots. We are just exercising our POD plan as all rural communities are this time of year, and in order to provide a service and make sure that we're prepared in a real event, we're offering free flu shots. Again, that's at the Nugget, Saturday, September 24th, this coming Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it is free, and 6 months and older are who's eligible to receive the flu vaccine on Saturday. We do have limited quantities, and we will be there till 2 p.m. or until we run out of vaccine, whichever comes first.
How's the flu season looking this year?
That's hard to say. Flu season actually peaks February, March. We start vaccinating now so that we have good, healthy immune systems. It does seem to be some sort of a viral stomach flu kind of thing happening in the community right now, limited, but happening. Flu that we're vaccinating against, of course, is for influenza, respiratory flus. So can't say how flu season will be, but the more people we vaccinate, the better the flu season will be, the less impact it will have on the public.
Who do you recommend getting the flu shots?
Anybody 6 months and older. Really, everybody should get vaccinated against the flu shot, against the flu. In particular, we recommend anybody that has respiratory issues, kids that have asthma, kids that have diabetes, autoimmune things that make their immune system not quite as strong. Teenagers, because they're active, they're out and about, they're moving all over the place. Elderly folks, of course, we always recommend that the elderly get flu shots. So really, anybody that has the potential to get sick should have a flu shot. So that means everybody.
And coming up after this break, we'll be back with Zach with a look at your weather. Don't go anywhere.
News 46 Weather is brought to you by Healthcare Partners Medical Group, with 5 locations in Pahrump. Local doctors and professional staff providing total care from infancy to seniors. News 46 Weather is also brought to you by your local dairy farmers. Dairy products are very important in maintaining a healthy body. For more information, you can visit their website at nevadadairycouncil.org.
Hey everyone, welcome back to News 46. I'm Zach Fuentes here with your weather. Today we had sunny skies and a high of 96 degrees. Our winds coming out of the southwest at just 3 miles per hour and our gusts at up to 7 miles per hour. Our pressure is holding steady. They're actually at 30.01 and our UV index is at 8, which is very high. Humidity was at 13%, not so high. And our sunrise was at 6:31 a.m., pretty early in the morning. And our record for today was back in 1951 at 103 degrees. So tonight we're looking at mostly clear skies and a low of 71 degrees. Our winds coming out of the north at 3 miles per hour and our gusts at up to 5 miles per hour. So it's not going to be a very windy night. Our humidity is looking to be at 22% and sunset is looking to be at 6:44 p.m. Our record was 49 degrees back in 1978. Tomorrow we're looking at sunny skies, a high of 97 degrees, and an overnight low is looking to be at 70 degrees. Our winds to come out of the west-southwest at 3 miles per hour, and our gusts at up to 6 miles per hour, so we're not going to have that much wind again. Our UV index is going to be at 8, very high, and our sunrise is looking to be at 6:32, a minute later than it was today, a.m., and our humidity is going to be at 15%. 7-day forecast tomorrow, like I said, we're looking at 97 degrees for a high and 70 degrees for our low. Friday through Sunday, we're going to have partly cloudy skies. Friday is going to be 97, Saturday 92, and Sunday 90 degrees. Monday, we're going to be in the 80s, as well as Tuesday for a little bit. And Wednesday, we do go back up into the 90s, just 5 degrees away from triple digits. So we hope that doesn't happen. Wednesday is going to be pretty windy with gusts at up to 22 miles per hour. And today's worst weather was in Blowing Rock, North Carolina, where they had drenching thunderstorms. Back.
And thank you so much, Zach. Tonight at the Pahrump Nugget, you can speak out about the future of the Nevada test site from 5 to 8 p.m. Representatives will be there, so make sure to go to that. And that does it for our news.
And I'm Janet Arrett.
And I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46. Good night.